Hey everyone, it's me Mariah and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a video that I've been waiting so long to film, and this is all about my experience at FIT, a huge recap of my first 2 years at FIT. There were so many times that I wanted to do my first year at FIT or my first semester at FIT. But I just wanted to wait until I was really wrapping up my first 2 years, and I have so much to go over. This video is going to be long. I get a lot of questions all the time, and I just want to go over everything. So if you're interested in FIT and you want to know more, I know there's not that many videos on YouTube. It's a very small school compared to a lot of other schools. So if you want to know more about FIT, let me know. Watch this video, comment down below any other questions you have. I'm very quick with answering comments, and I also plan on doing another video in a few months all about my experience as an RA. I'm not going to cover me being an RA in this video. This video is strictly about living at FIT, taking classes here, everything. So if you guys want to know more about FIT, if you want to know more about my experience at FIT, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, I just want to get out of the way the type of school that FIT is and what you apply for when you're applying here. So FIT is a 2-in-2 program. So what that means is when you initially apply coming into your freshman year, you're applying for your 2-year associate's degree only. If you plan on staying here for 4 years, that's great, but you're only applying for your associates. So for me, I applied for my 2 years associates program, and that was in fashion business management. And then after those 2 years, I can either switch my major and reapply for a different major for my bachelor's, or reapply for the same major in my bachelor's, or a lot of people will leave after their 2 years and go to a different college and get a different degree. So I just want to clear that up. A lot of people just think it's a 4-year school. It is a 2-in-2. So I have spent 2 years with my associates in being fashion business management. So I'm wrapping up my associates this May, and then I just got accepted this past weekend into my bachelor's program, and that is cosmetics and fragrance marketing, which is only a bachelor's program, so you can't go into that for your associates. So just want to clear that up. Now, I was one of those people where FIT was my dream school. It was my dream school ever since middle school, and originally I had all hopes and dreams of coming to FIT for fashion business management for my associates, and then going into international trade and marketing for my bachelor's. And I wanted to do international trading. I wanted to be a buyer. I wanted to travel the world. That was what I wanted to do. I always enjoyed makeup. I liked makeup, but I was like, the major just seemed more on the chemical side. It seemed like, to me at the time, I thought it was just making makeup, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Obviously, the great part about it being a 2+2 school is I still had time to decide what I wanted to do for my bachelor's. So as of right now, I had stuck to my 2 years in fashion business management. So the application process for a business student, I cannot speak on design students or art students. They have a completely different application process. So for me, the only requirements that I had to do was send in my high school transcript, and then I just had an essay. They did not take any SAT scores. They did not take any letters of recommendation. It was just my essay and just my grades that they were looking at. FIT, I believe, still currently has like a 44% acceptance rate. It is very selective. It also depends on the major you are applying to. So for fashion business management, it is the biggest major here. It has hundreds of students that are in fashion business management. So that major is a little bit easier to get into. If you want to go into advertising and marketing, I think it's a little bit less, and it just depends on the type of major you want to go into as a business student. So I had applied right away, right when the application became available. I think it was like in the beginning of October when the student applications opened. I applied ASAP. I had my letter ready. I was practicing my letter for the whole year before that. In junior year, I had teachers editing it. Like, I was ready. Didn't find out until the last week of March. So you never find out until the last week of March or the first week of April. They have to let you know by April 1st the latest, but trust me, they make you wait, and it is the worst wait ever because you hear back from like every other college you apply to. So the number one thing that I always focused on was my grades in high school, making sure I had a great GPA, making sure that I was really doing good in all my classes because I knew they looked at majority my grades. So my advice to anyone who wants to become a business student is just really focus on having great grades and making sure you nail that essay and really proofread it, have people edit it, have English teachers edit it. That's my only advice because that's the only thing they accept. Additionally, I had also done a pre-college program here, I think like a summer before, a year before, and it was like a week that I came into the city. I just took a class here. It was like a fun summer program that you do with like other girls, and so that was fun. So they knew that already. They had those credits from that class. So I don't know, that might have, to be honest, helped me a little bit because they knew I was really dedicated to the school and I really wanted to come here. So if you do have the opportunity to take a pre-college class, I would really recommend it. It was a lot of fun. They have the week program one. I came in for a week. The professors are amazing. I met so many new girls. We did so many fun things. So I definitely recommend the pre-college program if you can. My first year, I had lived in Co-ed Hall. I had a quad apartment. It was a really great experience. The apartment style was absolutely beautiful. I think I might still have some clips. I will insert the clips here. You guys can see. You walked in, there was a little living space. There was a pretty big kitchen, a bathroom, and then there was 2 separate rooms with 2 girls in it. So it was really great. I have no complaints about the room I was given. I love living on campus. The dorms are literally right across the street from the academic buildings because we're only on one street. And there's 3 dorm halls. It is Alumni Hall, which is only quad apartments, Nagler Hall, which is all girls, and it's a very old traditional building. They don't really have any AC, but it's really nice in there. They've been upgrading it. And then there's Co-ed Hall, which floors 2 to 10 are traditional style rooms, and then 11 to 15 are apartment styles, and those apartment styles can be doubles, triples, or quads. Quads are a little bit more difficult to come by. There's only 1 per floor on the apartment style floors in Co-ed, but they are possible. Like I said, I got one last year. So I really enjoyed living on campus. It was a great experience. I was right across the street. I was able to wake up literally 10 minutes before class and roll out of bed and literally go to class if I needed to. So that was really great. I know a lot of students who are art students love living on 27th Street because they can carry all their supplies right across the street. Now, after you finish your first year at F.I.T, you no longer live on 27th Street, you live on 31st Street in the returning students dorm building, which is Kaufman Hall. It is absolutely beautiful there. They have high ceilings. Every room is an apartment. It's absolutely beautiful there. Everyone loves it. It's a little bit more of a walk, but it's literally a 5-minute walk to campus, so it's not a big deal. It's beautiful there, and I have friends that live there and they love it. So last year with my apartment style, I used the dining hall occasionally. It wasn't really that much. So to me, it was pretty good because it was whenever I needed food, I got it and it tasted good to me. Now this year, like I had mentioned before, I'm an RA and I was stuck in a traditional style room in co-ed, and I love co-ed. I have no issues with my traditional style room, but when I rely on the dining hall 24/7, it gets really repetitive and not great, and I have a lot of times where I'm either cooking my own food in the communal kitchen or I am just ordering food. So the dining hall is good at times, but not the greatest when you eat it every single day for every single meal. They're very selective about what you can get together, and it's not like a free-for-all in there like a lot of colleges where you can just get whatever. So that's about my only complaint, is that when you rely on the dining hall 24/7, it can get really tiring. Now, the way my curriculum worked in all my classes is we take our 4 required classes for our major every semester, and then an additional 2 gen eds. Most of your classes right away you're right into your major. It's not like other colleges where, by your second or third years when you're just starting classes for your major, you walk in here starting classes for your major. So you cannot come in undecided. You have to know exactly what you want to do, and it is very difficult to switch your major. I've never tried to switch my major, but I know many people who've tried, and it's a little bit more difficult because then you're behind and you might end up being here a little bit longer than you planned, just because, like I said, the curriculum is laid out and you have specific classes every semester for your major. So it has its pros and cons because you're here, you're doing what you love, right away, you're diving deep into your major ASAP. But if you're someone who's undecided and decides I don't really like this, then you're in a tricky spot where it's like, okay, if I switch, I might, be a little bit behind. So always keep that in mind. So the classes are, for me as a business student, they were never super challenging where I felt like I was really struggling. It was never me staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning to study. Everything seemed a little more challenging than high school, but not too challenging where you feel like you can't do it. So I've always felt like everything was great. The classes were great. The professors here are amazing. Every single professor you meet has worked in the industry and knows what they are talking about and has some kind of connection, and it is amazing to hear their stories. It's amazing to hear what they've done, who they've worked for, where they've traveled. All these professors have literally traveled the entire world working in the industry and have so much knowledge, and that's something I really, really admire, because it's not just a professor who has a business degree. No, it's a professor who has worked in the business of fashion for years and knows what they're talking about. And it's just amazing to actually have a professor that not only can teach you the class material, but can also tie it to the industry, and they know because they're currently working in it and this is just a side job. Most of them aren't full-time professors. A lot of them still work in the industry, and they're always, bringing their industry experience to us, and that's really amazing, and that goes for all majors here. Business, arts, fashion, anything. Another aspect I want to get into is just the environment overall here at F.I.T. I watch so many YouTube videos where people complain that it's very cliquey here, people are very rude, they won't talk to you. I can kind of see it, it can get a little cliquey, but I have never had an issue of someone being rude to me or ignoring me if I start a conversation with them just because they're a prima donna. I have sat next to girls in classes and we have started conversations and we've talked and we've followed each other on Instagram, and we don't become best friends for life, but I have had great conversations with them, and I'll see them sometimes and they'll still say hey to me. I never had an issue where someone just completely ignored me and was like, ugh, because they had their own friend group. So because it's a college where you have to know your major and what you want to do, that makes everyone here very passionate about what they do. People who love fashion love fashion. Okay, everybody loves what they do. They are very determined and they're very hardworking. This is a very hardworking environment where you see people working all hours of the day, doing the most inspiring things ever, whether it's, making clothes, making shoes, making jewelry, or just studying because they're a business student, or, all the artists. Like, there's so many different things that go on here. It's more than just fashion. It's film, it's photography, it's fine arts, it's, illustration, it's graphic design, it's business. There's so much to this school than just fashion, and a lot of people don't recognize that. So the environment here is a lot different than a typical university, and a lot of people have an issue with that. It's not a party school whatsoever. There is not a single party on campus ever, and a lot of people have issues with that because they want the typical college experience. And I think that comes into play is because we're in Manhattan, where if people want to party, they either go to like an NYU Columbia sorority party, or they go out to the clubs with a fake ID. Like, that's just the brutal truth of it. So don't come here expecting to have a traditional college experience. It's not like that at all. So I'm gonna be honest. I am not the fondest of my major. I thought I was going to love fashion. I mean, I love clothes. I love dressing up. I came here and I was like, I'm going to be a buyer. That's what I'm going to do. International buying. It's going to make me a lot of money, and I'm going to travel. Like, that was what I thought was going to happen. And after my first semester, I automatically knew from sitting in my classes, I was like, I don't think I love fashion, because you are immersed in an environment where majority of the people love fashion, and you can tell, when people are always talking about their favorite designers and how up to date they are with watching fashion shows, and I was like, I've never seen a fashion show. Barely. I don't really know that many designers. Stop asking me who my favorite designer is, because I don't know. And I just felt like I wasn't as passionate about fashion and apparel like everybody else was. So that was where I kind of got a little stumped. It never reflected in my academics. I still did very good in all of my classes. I still took retail math. I love retail math. Merchandising math was the greatest class ever. I literally got an A plus in it. I love math and it was so interesting. I feel like if I had to stay in fashion, I could be a buyer because I absolutely loved retail math and it's really fun. So never once did my feelings of my major influence the grades that I have. It became a little rough for me because I was like, oh my god, I don't like fashion, like what am I gonna do? And automatically I was just like, I love makeup. So I started talking to people who were in the cosmetics and fragrance marketing program and I said, what is this? Is this primarily making cosmetics or is it marketing? Is it, product development? Like, what is it? And they were like, no, like, you only take 2 chemistry classes where you actually make products, where you make skincare products, you learn about the ingredients in makeup. They said, but it's mostly the marketing side and doing, products, packaging and displays and all that. They were like, there's a lot more to it. It goes into product development and marketing as well. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Like, that's up my alley. Did a lot of research into it. I talked to a lot of people. I watched videos on YouTube and I was like, that's what I want to do. I absolutely love makeup. I love product development. Like, that's what I want to do. Even last semester, I took product development, but it was for fashion and it was just so cool. Like, I'm not passionate about fashion, but it was the coolest class ever to learn how you develop a product from start to finish. And I was like, I want to do this, but I want to do it for cosmetics. So I always kept that mindset because I would always apply what I learned in my fashion classes in my mind to makeup. Also, when you switch into fashion business management for your bachelor's, you have to pick a sector that you go into. It could be buying and planning or it can be product development. So that just depends what you decide, which you will know which one you like because we take classes for buying, we take classes for product development, and you'll know which niche is best for you. So yeah, so my associates in FBM, it was enlightening. I feel like I've learned so much about the industry. I feel like the classes were so great. Meeting professors that literally have done it all and have worked with all these people was amazing. I felt extremely inspired. And there have been classes that were fashion related, like I said, product development, retail math, that I loved. But I was like, I need to do something I'm 100% passionate about, and that is cosmetics and the beauty industry. I'm super, super excited to finish FBM. I'm super excited that I got into cosmetics and fragrance marketing. Only 50 people get into it every year. It's very small. It's unique to FIT. FIT is the only college campus with a top-of-the-notch, state-of-the-art fragrance lab. So I'm super excited to get into that major. FBM has taught me a lot, but I'm ready to say goodbye to it. So that is where I stand with the whole major, the whole classes and everything. I'm going to talk about the campus life here. A lot of it's a lot of commuters that come here, whether it's from Long Island or New Jersey. A lot of people will buy their own apartments in the city and they will just commute here every day. So it's not huge on a campus life. During the week when classes are in session, there's a ton of people on campus, a ton of people walking around, hanging out. During the weekends, it's pretty much dead. You don't really see that many people around because no one really lives here that much. And even the people who do live here, most of them live close enough where they can go home. Overall, I feel like even last year when I wasn't an RA, there's so many events that FIT holds. They have a drag pageant, they have, a fashion show every year, they have a block party, they have a concert every year, they have a formal, they have so many events that they host, so many fun events too. They give away free food all the time. There's so many fun things they do here, and last year when I was a freshman, I took advantage of everything. I was like, free food, I'm down. If it's free, it's for me. Take advantage, okay? There were so many times that I went to these events and I met new people and I've mingled and I've had so much fun at all the different things. Last year at the spring concert, they had Kehlani come and perform and we went to Terminal 5. They always do really cute things and there's always posters for them. So definitely take advantage of everything the school does, because that'll get you in a really good place about the campus and about being at FIT. Overall, my experience at FIT has been great. I feel like I'm in college, but not at college at the same time, because it's different than a regular college. It's more of like a fun college, a cool college, you know. Absolutely would not see myself at any other school but FIT. It's so inspiring to be here. Yeah, that is all I have to say about my experience at FIT. If you are applying anytime soon, good luck to you. I wish you all the best. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you like videos about FIT. I plan to incorporate it more in my videos. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you guys can stay notified every time I do post videos about FIT and anything else lifestyle beauty related. So that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!